Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your first day. It is really heartwarming to see all of the good and positive messages being shared between the different ladies on the groups. Thank you for completing the exercises that we requested you to do. So by this evening, we know that we still have about 3 participants who cannot access the content yet, but we are about to sort that out, and we will follow up with those participants individually. So this means that we, at the end of day 1, are ready to start with the real content tomorrow. The reason why those of you who asked me whether or not you can continue with the design thinking content today, I discourage you to do that just to for me to make sure that all of the video content is embedded on the Fundi site so that it is really zero rated. I don't want you to think that you won't be using data when you click on a link on Fundi and then get a nasty surprise. So that is why I just ask you to wait until tomorrow. But as of tomorrow, if there's content of a next day that is available and you have the time and you are energized to continue to the next exercise, you are more than welcome to do so. This afternoon, we would like to answer any questions you might have after now finding your feet in this process. So we will be looking for questions in the live chat. One of the activities we had you complete today was to post your badge that you are a semi-finalist or a teacher mentor to social media. And there was a number of people asking, I'm not a social media user, is this a problem? It's definitely not a problem. We just know that there are a number of you that are real potential influencers, and we would like to give you the opportunity to spread your wings and fly our purple NWU flag. So we give you that opportunity if you're into that. If you're not a social media user, don't worry. Each day there will be some other opportunity for you to get recognized for a lucky draw. So tomorrow there might be another surprise waiting for you, that an activity that you can do to earn you a lucky draw prize. But the social media influencer activities will happen at least once every second day. If we're inspired by your activities, it might be every day. But yeah, we will monitor your activity on social media using our hashtags and you tagging us in your posts. Please remember to refer to the WhatsApp groups for those links to our profiles, add us or like us on Facebook, and then also tag us in your posts. We're excited to share this journey with you. So if you're a social media user, really go all out and don't just stick to the script that we give you. If you have some additional cool ideas, there's some of you asking whether you can post something on Snapchat or on TikTok. If you have an idea, please start it and do it and share with your new friends on WhatsApp as well. What trend you're trying to start. So also, once you get your goodie bags, you might be inspired by using what's inside. Speaking of which, I have a goodie bag here with me. So this is a teacher goodie bag. And there's a lot of interesting things inside. So while we're waiting for you to ask your questions, I'm going to unpack this a bit, just because many of you asked what's inside. So firstly, we're giving you a journal and a pen so that you can write down all of those world-changing ideas of you. Then we know that you need to be fueled by something. So we're providing you with a travel mug. And teachers out there, we know you are world changers. We acknowledge the work you're doing to change the world at the most critical place in school. And there where we know that you are shaping the minds of our youth. You are creating the products that we at the Faculty of Engineering at the Northwest University use to create the engineers of the future and the problem solvers of the future. So thank you to all our teachers out there. We know it is a very hard job. Then there's a nice buff inside. There's very cool shades for you to wear. And then, of course, there's a brand new t-shirt. And into some of your parcels, I have slipped these very nice thinker or idea maker socks. So not all of you have socks in your bag, but if you're one of the lucky 10 recipients, I've included that in your parcel. Our first lucky draw prize tomorrow morning will also be one of these Put Your Thinking Cap On socks, since you will be in idea generation mode tomorrow with the design thinking process. So yes, start thinking about what you will do with your goodie bag content once it arrives. The Schoolgirl content is the same, but with a different design. So tomorrow I will share the content of the Schoolgirl parcel. We have one question, and that is if you completed the exercise but you didn't find anyone that you have something in common with to answer on the WhatsApp group, is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. Then maybe you're really unique, or maybe there's an opportunity for you to browse to one of the other categories. So browse to the forum entries of one of the other categories and maybe see whether there's someone there that you have something in common with. And if you still don't find anything that you have in common with anyone else, then I think this is the ideal opportunity to hand out one of these pairs of socks. So if you really look through all of your forum threads content and you have nothing in common with anyone, but please be honest about that, and you have browsed through the other 4 categories and you're still that unique person, please send your group admin a message with what makes you so unique, and we will send you a pair of socks. Okay, there's another question that we received today, and that is, what is this Femgineering event that we are referring to? The Femgineering event started out about 7 years ago as a high tea that we held at the Faculty of Engineering, hosting girls from our local surrounding community and inviting inspiring speakers from industry to come and share their experiences with the girls. That later morphed into a weekend event that we used to host girls from Gauteng to come and stay over for the weekend in Potch. And we would have some hands-on projects. And then also after these hands-on projects is completed, then host them for a very nice dinner with a fashion show. We've had very famous designers in the past, designers like Anel Botha-Couture, and that was always our highlight on the engineering calendar to host this event. Last year, we hosted this event for the first time in virtual format, and this year we will continue doing that, and we will embrace the virtual space even more. So if COVID regulations allow, the Monday event on Women's Day will be a live event in your hometown. And you will be hosted as a small group of girls with one of our engineering alumni currently working and living in your hometown or close to your hometown. After this brunch event, where you will again have a very nice goodie bag that you will receive, we will move online for the remainder of the week, since we know you have to attend school that week. So every afternoon between 3 and 6, we will host you for various online workshops. So the colleagues at mechanical engineering, for instance, will teach you one-on-one and step-by-step how to draw in 3D. You will be able to upload your design after the workshop, and we will 3D print it for you and send your result to you. From computer and electronic engineering, we might keep you busy for one afternoon with creating a nice game or a nice app for you to use. In terms of industrial engineering, our very creative colleagues at industrial engineering will teach you all about how they optimize processes and facilities to make the world a better place by having things and systems and processes work smoothly. And then our colleagues at chemical engineering will also host an online chemical magic show. And then you will also have some opportunities to try your hand at a very small design experiment. So apart from the fact that you will have an activity on a daily basis, the theme of this year's Femgineering event is See You Be Brave. So we will also have a physical activity each day where we will have someone teaching us online self-defense moves that we can use to defend ourselves and be even braver than we thought we were. We will also have very enticing speakers from various places within industry. There's a lot of places where engineers work where you might not think you would find them. For instance, last year's speaker that joined us from Sweden went to class with me, Hanneke Schneidler. She is currently working at the NASDAQ. And that is definitely not a place where most people think that engineers work. A previous year's speaker, Dr. Phoebe de Wet, she introduced us to the technology they used to create a voice for a little boy who was disabled and couldn't speak. So they created a solution for him to be able to communicate with the people around him. And another year, we had a speaker join us from Mondelez that makes Cadbury's chocolates, and we had a lovely Cadbury chocolate tasting. So the speakers that we will be hosting with us are very interesting. They come from diverse backgrounds. They are working in very impressive places, and they all studied at the NWU Faculty of Engineering. So if you are interested in engineering and you want to see how females are currently working within the industry and what challenges they experienced to get there, or even if you are just interested in hearing how they find it advantageous to be a female, to be more creative and come up with solutions that people do not expect, then please join us. The registration link is available on the live chat right now. So if you are interested in joining us for the Femgineering event, you are more than welcome to register already. Please remember that the top 25 teams will be our guests of honor at that event. So more information will follow as soon as we know who those 25 teams are, but it doesn't mean that only they are welcome. Anyone interested in engineering, any female interested in the jobs we do and the difference we make in the world, please join us for that event. The first 200 persons to register will receive a fully loaded goodie bag again. Okay, we have one question about what the outcome of this competition should be. Should you have a working prototype at the end, or are we requiring you to build something during the next 2 weeks and get it working? No, we don't. This competition is about getting you to take that idea that you entered with and then putting it through its paces by really focusing on all of the different aspects that engineers need to look at before we start building the idea. And what you will end up with at the end of the 2 weeks is an example of a good explanation of what it is you want to do, why it is important to do that, what pain it is addressing, and how your idea will work if it is once it is fully functional. So it is the typical information that we as engineers need to give to a financial team when they need to make some decisions about whether or not they're going to give us funding to complete a specific project. So you will be able to package this idea into a short video where you touch on not only the technical and the scientific background as to the solution that you had in mind, but also the business aspects, why you are the perfect team to look at this, who would be interested in using this, why they would be interested in using this, and you'll have all of the documentation and information ready that if you are one of those top five winners, the winners of each category, then you can give that information to us as a Faculty of Engineering team, and we will then help you develop that prototype into something that is working and that you can then either enter some other competitions with, since you'll have a working prototype. You can actually start a business with this and convince some funders to give you funding to take this to market. So whatever you do with your idea once you're done with it, and once you have developed this idea into something that you can really explain to someone else and convince them that this is worthwhile solving and this is a good idea and a good way to address the problem, then you have learned what you're supposed to learn. So at the end of this or during each phase of the project, you will use that idea that you entered with as the example that you will use to answer the question. So you will develop your idea in the process, and it stays your idea. You didn't now submit the idea, and now it's the property of the NWU. That is something that you'll learn once we get to the intellectual property section. But we will help you develop that idea into something that you can actually explain to other people in such a way that they will be willing and wanting to give you funding, to give you access to people who can help you develop it, can give you access to possible markets who will be interested in it. So you'll be learning in the process, but that idea that you have entered with, we will help you develop it into an idea that is fundable and that someone can actually implement for you. We have a next question. Someone asking us, what will you be judged on at the end of the day? So in the process of going through the training, you will generate some answers to different sections of the training material. These answers you will use to generate a report. And that report, along with the video, that will be a video recording of you presenting your 10 slides about the project that you will focus on in the last section, pitching your idea, will be submitted on the 25th of July. So it's not something separate, it is something that you will create by participating on a daily basis. So this information you will document as a video and you will document it as a report. You will submit these on the 25th of July by midnight on Sunday evening, so before going to school on Monday morning. And then our judges will look for 4 things. Firstly, how inspirational your idea is. So do they now get that aha moment after listening to you, that they understand why this is a problem? Because in many cases, your judge may live in a very different environment than you do. So they might not understand why something that you experience as a problem is a problem. So you need to convince them why it is a pain and why you need to overcome this pain. Then the potential impact, and impact has a number of different things. So it can have an impact in terms of lives changed. It can be impact in terms of money or potential money being generated. It can be impact in terms of a process being optimized or a obstacle being overcome. So that potential impact. The third thing is your passion for science, technology, engineering. And that's not something you can prepare for. That's something that shines through you when you're giving that presentation. When you're excited about this content and you're really convinced, and you're convincing us that this solution is a good solution to this problem, that you have thought about all the various aspects as to why this would not work or why it will work and why you're the right people actually address it because you understand it so well. So that passion that shines through the way in which you present it. and then your communication abilities, because in the end of the day, or at the end of the day, we as engineers, while at school we might think that the languages are not important, it's just the science and the maths. The languages are really important. That's why I'm so excited that so many of you listed reading as a favorite activity, because by reading you improve your vocabulary and you get new ways of expressing yourself. And these ways of expressing yourself then comes out in the form of either your presentation that you're giving, how you express your ideas in the video, or how you document it. So your communication abilities are a really important skills that engineers often neglect to acknowledge, that unless something is written down and unless someone else is taking note of that document or that video that you created, it might as well not have happened. So those are the 4 criteria. How inspirational your idea is, the potential impact of your solution on this problem, your passion for science, technology, and engineering and maths, and your communication skills. I will also upload a marking rubric for you that that the judges will use to score all of the different projects. So all of the answers will generate marks, but the marks is really made up of these 4 things. If that's evident in your presentation and in your documentation, then you are convincing us. Okay, I see that there's no more questions at this stage. So I think that that means that you're satisfied for now. Remember that we'll have these check-in sessions every afternoon at 5 o'clock, every weekday afternoon. So check in tomorrow morning. We will post your assignment for the day right around 8 o'clock. The material will be available on the site. You can work through that. We will remain active on the WhatsApp groups. So please ask if anything is unclear. If you understand something someone else is asking, we have the answer to the question someone else is raising, please help each other and answer each other. And yes, I hope you learned a lot today in terms of what you have in common with other people. I hope that you're impressed that you were able to use the Ifundi learning management platform, because it's not always the easiest or the most user-friendly platform to use. So you figured out a new platform today, and I know that you are digital natives, but it's still impressive that you were able to do so. And we verified that all of you are connected. So if you have any issues, please reach out, and we're looking forward to spending some time with you tomorrow in the WhatsApp groups or in the forums if you have a question, and then also see you face to face afternoon at 4 again to answer any questions you might have after day 1. Goodbye.